Have you ever wondered how people make a real sustainable income online, but without having to become some big influencer? Well, today we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to look at one really powerful, skill-based method. It's called the Faceless Creator Method. And it's a strategy that pretty much anyone with a laptop and the drive to learn can use to build a real online business. So let's get right into it. You see the massive opportunity online, for sure. But maybe the idea of building a personal brand, always being on camera, and living that influencer life, maybe that's just not for you. So what if you could build something profitable, something real, completely behind the scenes? I mean, we're living in a pretty incredible time, right? The digital economy is absolutely booming. It's created this 24/7 global marketplace where it's your skills that matter, not where you're from or what your background is. And here's the real game-changing part. You don't need to be a celebrity to make it in this new economy. Forget about building some huge personal brand. The real secret sauce is just providing genuine value. This is exactly where the Faceless solution comes in. It's a whole strategy that actually uses anonymity to your advantage to create what the source material calls a cash cow channel. Basically, a profitable content channel that works for you, and you never ever have to be on camera. So what is it exactly? Well, it's all about creating YouTube channels that are totally laser-focused on one specific topic. The content itself, the information, the tutorial, the review, that's the real star of the show. The value comes from what you share, not from who you are. And this method works incredibly well in niches like finance, tech, health, and product reviews. And why is that? Well, think about it. When people are looking for answers, they're not searching for a personality. They want to know how to invest, or which gadget they should buy, or how to fix something. They want expertise. The entire core of this strategy, really, it just boils down to one simple idea. Be helpful. That's it. If you can answer the questions your audience is already asking and provide real, honest value, you'll build a loyal following that keeps coming back for more. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually do it? I mean, theory is great, but action is what matters. So the source guide lays out this really clear 60-day blueprint, a practical plan to take you from zero to being a consistent content creator. Now, before we dive into the plan itself, we have to talk about the biggest hurdle you're going to face, and that's the temptation to quit. Seriously. Those first few weeks are the absolute toughest, and that's exactly where most people give up. This is why committing to a solid plan for at least 60 days is so crucial. All right, so here's what that initial sprint looks like. Day 1, you just make a decision. Pick your niche. Then for the next week, you go deep into research, and not just on your topic, but on the skills. You can find full free courses on YouTube for things like video editing and copywriting. The week after that is all about setup. Create your channel, and maybe even make a few mock projects to start a portfolio. And then from day 15 on, it's go time. This weekly loop, this is the engine that's going to drive all your progress. It's a simple but really powerful cycle. Learn, create, publish, and then refine. The source guide actually suggests posting twice a day to build that early momentum. You treat it like a job, and then every Sunday you look at your results and figure out how to get smarter for the next week. Okay, but here's the thing. You can have the best plan in the world, but it won't matter if you don't get this next part right. The source material really hammers this home. The real secret to success is your mindset. In fact, your psychology is way more important than the specific tactics you use. Think of it this way. Success is like 80% mindset and only 20% mechanics. It's not just about knowing what to do, it's about having the focus, the patience, and the persistence to actually see it through when things get a little tough. And one of the biggest mindset traps out there is what they call shiny object syndrome. You know the feeling, right? You're working on one thing, and then you see someone on social media having success with a totally different method, and suddenly you're tempted to switch. But that constant hopping around, it's a guaranteed way to never make any real progress. So here is the most crucial piece of advice. Pick one method, this method, and commit to it. See it through for that full 60 days. Don't even look at other business models. Protect your focus, turn off your notifications, and do some real deep work. Consistency, my friends, is king. It's what separates the winners from the dreamers. This is such a critical thing to understand when you're starting out. Earning your very first $100 is going to be the hardest part. Why? Because you're building everything from scratch. Your skills, your audience, your credibility. But once that foundation is in place, you'll start to see momentum build, and believe me, things do get easier. So, you've got the method, you've got the right mindset. But there's one more hurdle to clear. One final boss to defeat: perfectionism. It's that little nagging voice in your head that tells you you're not ready, that you need to be better before you can even start.
This quote from the guide is basically the ultimate permission slip to just be a beginner. Let this sink in. Version 1 is better than version 0. Taking imperfect action is always better than having some perfect plan that you never actually do anything with.
Let's just be brutally honest for a second. Your first videos, they're probably going to be bad. Your audio might be a little weird. Your editing might be clumsy. And you know what? That's not just okay, it's a necessary part of the journey. Every single successful creator you admire started right there. The main takeaway here is to make that shift from just learning to actually doing. The final challenge from the source guide is a really powerful one. Stop consuming more information and just start taking action. So what's one small step you can take right now to get started? The old gatekeepers are pretty much gone. In this new economy, it's value and consistency that unlock the doors. The opportunity is right here. It's for the taking. So the only real question left is, what are you going to build?